Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to our channel, the Eaton Squad. My name is Addie. So for today's video is the latest Iatf announcement for the period of March 1st until March 15th, 2022. To all travelers in the Philippines, whether it is for local or domestic flights or for international flights. Details coming right up. So as expected, the Iatf has already updated their guidelines for the new period. This is for March 1st until February 15th. This is actually a good change coming from the Iatf because there are areas now on alert level 1, which is low risk areas. Particularly, this is in the NCR and some other places in the Philippines. Actually, there are 38 cities now on alert level 1, and I am going to show you guys the guidelines if a particular city or a particular LGU is under alert level 1. Also, I will be updating you guys on guidelines to all international travelers to the Philippines. So, foreign tourists are still accepted in the Philippines as of right now. Actually, this update is for March 1st through the 15th. So, nothing to worry on that, especially to those who are coming within that period. And in my opinion, foreign tourists will still be open for a while. I can really see that foreign tourists or international tourism will be open for a while, especially that the Philippines is trying to bounce back from the losses, particularly international tourism from the pandemic. So even though this update is for March 1st through the 15th, I don't really see the Philippine government closing the foreign tourist or the international tourist again. It will stay for a while. So if you guys are ready, here are the guidelines of the Iatf for this period. So guidelines for alert level 1 for public transportation. So public transportation will be in full capacity. For intrazonal and interzonal travels involving public land transportation between an area with a higher alert level classification and an area under alert level 1, the passenger capacity shall be that which has the lower passenger capacity rate between the point of origin and point of destination. So since foreign tourists are now welcome to the Philippines once more, for sure tourist spots in the Philippines are now open also. So they have updated their public transportation capacity. For alert level 1 cities or LGUs, they are now at 100% capacity when it comes to public transportation. But with level 2 cities, they are still at 70%, I believe. You guys can check, especially if you are going to a particular destination that is still on alert level 2. So always check what's the updated travel requirements of a particular LGU if you guys are planning on vacationing and stuff like that. So please be updated on that. For aviation, maritime, and rail public transport operating in and out of alert levels 1 areas, the passenger capacity will be at 100%. So I will skip the next one. Let's proceed to SPAS. The use of the Safe, Swift, and Smart Passenger or SPAS travel management system shall not be required for interzonal travel to areas under alert level 1. So to those international passengers whose final destination is at alert level 1 already, SPAS will not be needed anymore. If before, prior to March 1st, SPAS was required, now if they were accelerated to alert level 1, you will not need SPAS anymore. You don't need to register with SPAS, only to those cities or LGUs under alert level 1. So please take note of that. For health protocols in establishments, well-fitted masks should be worn properly at all times, whether outdoors or indoor private or public establishment, including public transportation, except of course if you guys are eating or drinking. or participating in team and individual sports and venues where ventilation standards can be maintained, practicing outdoor sports or exercising activities where physical distance can be maintained. So they have not really dropped the mask mandate, so you still have to wear mask at all times as part of the safety and health protocols of the Philippines. So for example, in the US, they have already dropped the mask mandate. If you are an American entering the Philippines, you still have to follow our safety and health protocols in the Philippines. So please follow it so we can maintain the reopening of the international tourism in the Philippines. Use of health declaration forms or paper-based contact tracing shall not be required for all agencies and establishments. Digital contact tracing such as the StaySafe.ph application is optional for all the agencies and establishments. So looks like if a particular LGU is using a particular contact tracing, this is not available anymore, but please still check with respective LGUs what are their protocols for incoming international passengers. So on COVID-19 testing guidelines, I will skip to the very last protocol because this applies to our international travelers. So updated quarantine protocols for incoming international travelers shall be consistent with IATF resolution number 160-A and -B, and updated isolation and quarantine protocols for the general public, healthcare workers, and authorized sector shall be consistent with DOH Department Memo number 2002-0013. So meaning, with IATF Resolution 160-A and 160-B, if you are a foreign national entering into the Philippines, you have to be fully vaccinated. The IATF is still firm that unvaccinated foreign nationals will not be allowed entry into the Philippines. So I am not sure how is that going to work with that executive order that Governor Gwen has signed in Cebu. We have not really heard that that executive order has been canceled, or if the IATF has already intervened when it comes to that executive order. But if I hear something, if there's any update to that, I will definitely keep you guys posted, because I know we have travelers who are unvaccinated now flying to Cebu because they allow or they accept unvaccinated foreign nationals. But like I said, I will keep you guys posted if there's any changes on that. So far, there is no announcement, like I said, that that executive order were canceled. So as it stands, Cebu are still accepting unvaccinated foreign nationals starting March 1st. But if you guys are landing in Manila or Davao or in any international gateways in the Philippines, unvaccinated foreign nationals unfortunately will not be allowed entry into the Philippines. So you have to be fully vaccinated, meaning if you got the 2 doses vaccine, you will be fully vaccinated 14 days after you have gotten the second dose. If it's a 1-dose vaccine, 14 days after you have gotten the first dose. So please be guided on that. And for booster shots, this is still not required as part of being fully vaccinated. So far the Philippines is only requiring 2 doses. You have to be vaccinated with 2 doses. 14 days after the second dose has been given to you to be fully vaccinated, like I mentioned earlier. So only 2 doses or 1 dose for 1 dose of vaccine. So booster shot is not required to be fully vaccinated. So I hope that is clear, because I have received quite a bit of inquiries on that, if booster shots is included to be fully vaccinated. No, it's not included. It is an advantage if you have the booster shot, but it is not required. So with the latest guidelines, the arrival protocols for Filipinos, dual citizens, Balikbayans and Foreign Nationals stays as is. So they still require the negative 48 hours COVID-19 or RT-PCR test result. Travel insurance is still required to foreign nationals entering the Philippines. There are only specific groups who are required to have travel insurance. These are former Filipinos and Balikbayans, and those coming into the Philippines under the foreign tourist category. So I made a video of that. You guys can check our channel as reference if you guys need a travel insurance or not. So travel insurance should cover COVID-19 treatment cost. That is $35,000 coverage. So it needs to indicate that this particular travel insurance will cover COVID-19. And for Filipino citizens and dual citizens, fully vaccinated and unvaccinated are allowed entry into the Philippines. For fully vaccinated, you don't need to undergo quarantine. For unvaccinated Filipinos and dual citizens, you will have to undergo 5 days quarantine. Swab test will be on the 5th day, and if your result turns out negative, then you will be sent home for home quarantine. So please take note of that. Like I said, Iatf Resolution 160-A and Iatf Resolution 160-B stays as is for the period of March 1st until March 15th of 2022. So please be guided on that. So the requirements has not really changed in a bit, because I receive some inquiries that, hey, now that Manila is on alert level 1, are they going to drop the negative RT-PCR test, the 48 hours RT-PCR test? No, unfortunately, that is still in place. So even the travel insurance, that is still in place. So if you guys are one of those international travelers coming into the Philippines who are required to have a negative 48 hours RT-PCR test result, travel insurance, vaccination card, yes, the One Health Pass, you guys still have to register with it within 3 days prior to departure, or as soon as you guys receive your negative RT-PCR test result. Please register, and also I highly recommend to print all documents that you guys need to bring to the Philippines, because it will be asked several times. Always have a backup of printed documents. You can also have it on your phone if you like, but just in case you can't connect to the internet or your cell phone goes low battery, you have the printed documents with you to avoid delays on your trip. I have also received several messages from our subscribers who are already here in the Philippines. I want to personally welcome you guys back to the Philippines, and I am happy to hear from them that their travel went smoothly, that they have prepared the documents, what documents that they need to prepare to travel to the Philippines according to the Iatf, according to the travel updates that we have done. And thankfully, they have not have any problems entering the Philippines with those guidelines. I'm happy for you guys, and I'm glad you guys made it safe to the Philippines. And thank you for those confirmation, and thank you for sharing the information you guys have went through entering the Philippines once again. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, and welcome back to the Philippines. I hope you guys will enjoy your stay. So this is so far the latest travel updates to the Philippines from the latest guidelines from the Iatf for the period of March 1st through March 15th of 2022. And to all those travelers coming into the Philippines within this period, please, you guys, be careful, get those documents and registration made. That way your travel and process when you guys get to the Philippines will be smooth. And for your reference, here are the cities or LGUs under Alert Level 1 and cities and LGUs under Alert Level 2. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is our latest travel updates to the Philippines. If you have any questions, concerns, or inquiries with regards to this video or in any of our travel related videos, please comment it down below and I will try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. Or you can direct message me in our Facebook page, same handle, the Eaton Squad. Again guys, thank you so much for the continued support and trust to our channel, the Eaton Squad. I hope to see you guys on our next travel update. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless everyone. Bye!